who was partners with L.A. Reid and Babyface in Atlanta, and these guys had this competitiveness. L.A. had a girls group. I bet you don't know who his lead singer was.
No.
Pink.
Oh.
She's the exact same age as Beyonce, and there used to be this battle which group was better. You had Usher. He was the same age. They were all 14 and 15 years old, living in Atlanta.
Trainers have been training older artists to lie and say they were as much as 10 years younger than they were. It's all to sell you records, to sell you a...
Lately, there has been a lot of talk online about Beyonce and her real age. Fans have started asking questions after comments from people close to her, including her former stepfather Richard Lawson. Some of those statements raised doubts and made people curious about what is actually true. At the same time, reports claim that some documents have surfaced, adding more confusion to the situation. While her team is trying to handle the rumors, the conversation keeps growing. Some people believe there might be truth behind it, while others think it is all just speculation. In the end, it leaves fans wondering what to believe and what is simply talk online.
Yeah.
Now, Beyonce was born in 1981. I don't know how that picture of her standing up almost hip high to her mother happened. Like I said, it was the largest infant I ever seen in my life.
Talking about age in Hollywood is nothing new. Many celebrities have adjusted their age at some point in their careers. Some do it to protect their private life, while others feel pressure from the industry. Age can affect the kind of roles people get, especially for women, so some believe changing a few years can help them stay relevant and get better opportunities. There are examples of stars who have openly admitted to this. Nelly once shared that he had not been fully honest about his age early in his career. Whoopi Goldberg also spoke about adjusting her age to appear more experienced when she first entered the industry. In their cases, they eventually told the truth, and people moved on. The situation around Beyonce is a bit different because she has always stood by her official birth year. According to her, she was born in 1981. For a long time, no one questioned it. However, things started to change when certain documents appeared online, claiming a different birth year. Some reports suggested she might have been born in 1974, which would create a noticeable gap. This claim quickly caught attention, and people began to debate whether it could be true. If the timeline were different, it could change how fans look at parts of her life and career. At the same time, the source of these documents became a major question. Officials later responded and said the information was not accurate, explaining that the records being shared were not real. Even with that clarification, the conversation did not fully stop. Some people felt confused about how such documents appeared in the first place. Others believed it was simply a misunderstanding that grew bigger because of social media. Rumors tend to spread quickly, especially when they involve someone as famous as Beyonce. There were also moments from interviews that added to the discussion. For example, Gabrielle Union once talked about her friendship with Beyonce and mentioned that they had known each other since
small school. I remember her passing through the hallways, and I mean, she was stunning. She was just a stunning woman. But she would sing, I think, during the hallways and walking by. And I just remember, and I'm not just saying this, but I remember saying, wow, that girl is something. And I didn't really know much about her because we didn't have classes, and she was in a different art area. I was a theater major. But she stood out. And then years later in college, one of my other good friends called me and said, open your yearbook and look at whatever page, because I didn't put Destiny's Child was already a big deal.
Right.
I just didn't make the connection because she looked so different. And so for 2 years, I'm Bills, all of these songs that I thought were great. I didn't even make the connection that she went to my high school.
According to Richard Lawson, some of the confusion also comes from things Tina Knowles has said in the past. She once shared a story about taking Beyonce to see the Triumph Tour when she was just 3 years old. Tina explained that this moment had a big impact on her and made her realize she wanted to perform on stage. However, some people feel the timeline in that story does not fully match up, which has added more questions to the discussion.
When Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph Tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
Wow.
And my friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's gonna come out that way. So I had her out there. It was a group of about 20 people. He walks over, tries to grab her. And she loved him so much. She was just overwhelmed as kids do, and she just started crying, and you know, she wouldn't go to him. But what are the odds of that?
Wow.
And she said then, I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Look at her now.
Look at her now. And I just think that that's how fate and God work.
The main issue people point out is the timing. If Triumph Tour happened in 1981, then the story of Beyoncé being born that same year and attending it at age 3 does not quite match. Still, some argue it could simply be a mix-up. Tina Knowles may have been remembering a different event, like the Victory Tour, which would better fit the timeline. It is also fair to say that memories from decades ago are not always exact, and small details can easily get confused over time. However, the situation raised more questions when Matthew Knowles shared a similar timeline that did not fully add up. In one interview, he mentioned that Beyoncé was coming up in the industry around the same time as Usher and Pink, suggesting they were close in age. This confused some fans, since both artists are known to be older. These repeated mix-ups have led people to question whether it is just simple memory errors or something else entirely.
Partners with L.A. Reid and Babyface in Atlanta, and these guys had this competitiveness. L.A. had a girls group. I bet you don't know who his lead singer was.
No.
Pink.
Oh.
She's the exact same age as Beyonce, and there used to be this battle which group was better. You had Usher. He was the same age. They were all 14 and 15 years old, living in Atlanta.
When it comes to Beyoncé and her family, there are always many stories going around, which makes it hard to know what is true and what is just talk. Over the years, some rumors have turned out to be accurate, while others have not. This is why people tend to question new claims when they appear online. Recently, more attention has been placed on comments linked to Tina Knowles and her past relationships. Some reports suggest that her former partner has been sharing personal details about the family, including claims about Beyoncé's public image. These claims go as far as questioning parts of her life, such as her age and even her relationship with Jay-Z. Because similar ideas have been mentioned by different people at different times, some fans feel there might be more to the story. Others believe it is just a mix of speculation and misunderstanding. There are even stories about moments in the past where certain topics were avoided in public, which has added more curiosity. At the same time, it is important to remember that the internet often takes small details and turns them into bigger theories. Not everything shared online is reliable. In the end, people are left to decide what they believe, while the truth may be much simpler than it seems.